project as much this morning. It's much more intimate. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. How many of you guys are here for the first time this morning? Nice. Welcome. Welcome. You guys are going to enjoy it. For the rest of you are going to know the drill. This is 1 Million Cups, a weekly entrepreneurship event where two startups from the community come up here. They present what they're building, what they're working on, and then you ask them questions. You make suggestions, seek clarification, and most importantly, think through your networks, your mental Rolodexes, and think about the connections you can make for the two entrepreneurs to help them grow their businesses here. My name is Sean Kennedy. I'm an organizer for 1 Million Cups, along with Marianne, Chris, and today JJ and Danielle are the ones playing the roulette of absence. We also have Carly, who puts together the wonderful weekly emails that tell you who presented here, how you can help them about the events we discuss, and how you can get connected. If you're not getting that email, the sign-in sheet is right over there by the door. Please feel free to drop us your email address on the way out. We also could not do this without Cow Coffee. We thank them for their sponsorship, Cow. On non-Wednesday mornings, please buy from them. What else have we got going on? Ton of stuff, but I'm going to get out of the way for Krista, who actually was scheduled to present last week. She was our third presenter. We screwed up, but thank you for coming back.
Thank you. Good morning. It's wonderful to be here. My name is Krista Shah, and I am the CEO of Passport to Education. I'm an author of Passport to Education publications and the host of Regional Employment Radio starting in the middle of July. We are a for-profit company, a certified women-owned minority business in Hillsborough and Pinellas counties, and Passport to Education is a United States Patent Office registered trademark. I put this up here to begin with because you may have some questions for me afterwards. Feel free to contact me, jobdeveloperus@gmail.com, or my phone number is a Seattle area code, but I'm in Palm Harbor, so feel free to call me. Our primary goal in the business is to increase employment in the United States for all job seekers. You know, everybody's part of the game. Groucho Marx, people that are working in any kind of a position. That's our goal, is employment for everybody. We are really all about employment. And I wanted to give you a few statistics this morning. In the United States population right now, about 323 million people in the United States. In May, about 123 million were employed full-time. That's 35 hours or more per month. Interesting statistic about almost a little over 500,000 workers are discouraged workers. And that means people that have given up looking for a job. They've stopped looking because they don't think that there's a job for them. So if you break that down by state, we have about 10,000 people in the state of Florida who think that there's not a job for them. These are the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Also in June, I just wanted to say this is about 7 million people are unemployed in the United States right now. So we're all about employment. Passport to Education is an umbrella brand for about 4 silos of services and products. So our first product is going to be Regional Employment Radio Podcast. Our second product is Job Seeker Support Services. Our third is Business Growth Support Services. And number 4 is publications for 504 and ADA training and workplace access. So let me define that really quickly if you don't know what 504 and ADA is. 504 is a civil right that you have if you have a barrier to learning in a learning environment. That applies to you in K through 12. It also applies to higher education. The American with Disabilities Act applies to the workplace and workplace accommodation. So our first product, Regional Employment Radio, is something that we're starting. Really excited about that. We're going to be looking at your business product. What is it that you're creating? So we'd love for you to come on the show. We're exploring regional economies in the United States and higher education partnerships with business and assistive technology innovations in workplaces. We're beginning in 2 regions to develop jobs and look at employment. And the reason for that is there's 2 significant people in my life. One is my son who lives in Seattle. So we're going to be looking at jobs in Seattle, and we're also going to be looking at jobs in business Bay Area. We think that regional employment radio is a good venue because we can communicate to the United States what's happening, what's really going on. We don't have to rely on the media for that. You guys are going to tell us. So we're going to be interviewing businesses and talking about what are the skills that you need in your business and your industry to help grow your business. And I think that's an important message to bring. Our second product is business support services, infrastructure, HR payroll, workplace accommodation, consultation, and we consult at no fee. So if you'd like to talk with us about a workplace accommodation or anything you might need, our mentors can do that for you at no cost. Number three product is job seeker support services, and our goal really is to remove barriers to employment. We think that a lot of the reason people aren't getting jobs is they're not skillfully applying for jobs. If you've been unemployed for any part of your life, you'll find out that there's just some steps that you missed in that process, so we can help with that. These are the kinds of things that we're doing. Our publications are really focused on bringing workers into the workplace who may have a barrier to employment, and this is something we could talk more about. But about 30% of job seekers are qualified to work, but they may need a reasonable accommodation for the workplace. I love this picture. Our ADA publications simplify reasonable accommodations. We kind of take that whole universe of systems and compress it down into something that's manageable, simplified, and applicable for job seekers and employers. The tools that we're using to accomplish all that we're doing are podcasts, job seeker mentors, business mentors, publications, and customized training. These are some stories that we can talk about, but I want to make sure about our time because I have 1 minute left. So we might go into this in question and answers, but what we could talk with you a little bit about is some of the people that we've been able to be successful with as we use our tools. How you can assist us is by coming on the podcast, talking about your business, talking about what you're creating, talking about the skills that you really need in your business or in your industry. Consult with us about your workplace. Invite us to speak at your civic group. Invite us to speak at a place of worship. Invite us to speak at school, wherever it is that you think that we could be a benefit to you. Talk with me a little bit about that. Again, you can reach me here. And just a few takeaways. There are free resources for you, and I'm going to leave this up while we do Q&A. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us more about your success stories?
Yes. Okay. I worked at a college and I accommodated students that were like you, any age, 18 and up to maybe 65, 70. And my first student, she walked in the door one day in tears and she said, "I'm failing all my classes." I said, "What's going on?" She said, "I cannot read. She can understand everything I hear, but I cannot read the books." So we identified a way for her to understand why the material on the page was moving around. And we used Erlin lenses. Has anyone heard of that? Or has scotopic sensitivity? So that's just one of those odd areas that if you want to ask me about, if you're light sensitive, if you're a light sensitive person, what we found out that worked for her was a pair of prescription lenses, non-prescription lenses that were tinted orange. And that's how her brain was able to read text on a page. So she went from F's to A's and on to the University of Washington with orange tinted glasses. Who would have thought, right? Okay. This may be important to you to talk about the Chapter 31 veteran at the University of Phoenix. So I was, in my business, I was going up and down the halls of James Haley Veterans Hospital to see if I could connect our program with some of the veteran services, and happened to meet a person who I asked directions for. Noticed he was limping, asked him about his limp, found out he had fallen out of a helicopter in North Korea and was limping because of pain, and that he was a student at University of Phoenix. He had no idea that he was eligible for accommodation as a student, as a veteran. And so we talked about that. I used my publication with him, and within one doctor's appointment of about 20 minutes and one email to the college, he had a comfortable chair, he had more time for his assignments, and it certainly decreased the amount of stress that he had. So just understanding your civil rights and knowing that you can advocate for yourself reasonably in training is really important for all of you to know, especially if you're in school right now or plan to go to school. I just keep talking, so you're asking some questions. Yes?
So, how do you monetize this?
Good question. All of these different areas that we're working in, we can monetize. So the publications are for sale. They're for sale with a consultation because I found that just selling a publication without a consultation is not a good idea. So publications work, job seeker services, there's a fee for that. Also for regional employment radio, that's going to be free right now because that's going to be our fund. But at some point we may want sponsors for those. And business services, also, there's a monetization there. Chris?
You said can monetize. Can you tell us a little bit more about what stage you're at? How do you have clients now? Or is there a certain one of those, core buckets that is paying the bills, or are you in an early stage where you're trying to
Yes,
get
early stage. Yeah, we love to have funding for what we're doing, but right now we're just about launching here in July. It's taken some time to put this business together, just like it is for your business. What you're creating. So we're at the very beginning points.
Do you have any kind of estimate or projections on like which area you're going to start on first, or what you're going to charge, or anything?
Right.
The business model?
Regional Employment Radio is, I could take you to the website, but on our website you can kind of see the monetization. So Regional Employment Radio will be our, here's who we are and here's what we're doing, and helping the United States to know about jobs and that. So that will give us a presence and a brand. And then our publications are available. They're electronic downloadable publications that can immediately be sold. And services, go ahead.
How are you working with the employment boards and things like that?
I found as a small business, and you for the career one-stop centers for the unemployment office and all those services, and see if we can get what I'm doing into that program.
Okay, but have you reached out to them yet?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, they told me, I'm sorry, there's no way you can do it. You've got to be vetted for the state of Florida, and it's going to take 2 years. And so I don't listen to that. I just keep going, just like you guys do, right? Just keep going. And then there'll be a time when they'll say, oh, isn't there somebody over there doing that? Go ahead.
So, have you thought about being, I'm assuming you're at least a 51% female owner?
I am.
Okay.
Yes.
And so have you thought about the women entrepreneur business? I forget the initials. I can email you if you want, but I think it's WEB, Women Entrepreneur Business Owners or something like that. That's a diversity certification that you can get. It's a little onerous to get, but once you get it, it gives you extra points with the government as well as private organizations.
That's great, thank you. Yes, anything would help to get the word out. Yes, sir.
How would you describe your brand? I'm having not quite zeroed in on how I would describe your brand.
How would you describe my brand, from what you understand?
I would say like a good works person.
Yeah, social worker.
A what?
Good works.
Good works person? How I describe myself as a barrier buster in job acquisition. How's that for you?
Say it again.
A barrier buster in job acquisition. So that's my personal MO, but I'm bringing that also into the business to be able to make sure that employment can occur. There's reasons why all these people are unemployed in the United States. There's reasons that you and I have been unemployed in the United States. So looking at those reasons and solving those problems is what we're going to be doing.
Is there any particular industry that you feel like is going to be your biggest potential target or opportunity, or are you kind of servicing everyone?
Great question. Technology. And the reason why is I'd like to see us not have to rely on civil rights laws. I think that we have the innovation and we have the commitment to inclusion in the United States where we can easily accessibilize our workplaces. We're kind of doing that naturally in some ways, with laptops and the kind of tools that we're using now, but more people could work. We don't have to necessarily rely on civil rights. So I'm looking at technology as, there's just so many jobs. There's so many awesome jobs in technology. So I think that that's an industry that I want to focus on. And Tampa Bay Technology Forum is just an awesome presence in this region. So healthcare is another. Yeah, those two. Yes, sir.
In terms of your brand, I'm a little confused. Reading Passport to Education, I was expecting I was going to come and learn about online learning or some new innovation to learning and education, but you're really, you're more about job seeking and career counseling. So there's a disconnect to me with just the name of your company and what you're looking to do. And it also seems to me you're trying to do a lot of things. I'm hearing a lot of career counseling, but when you look to do recruiting, is it resume writing, or is it?
I certainly appreciate your comments. Is anybody else confused about that name? Does it kind of take you off?
Yes.
It's like Passport to Education, like where is that going? So we should change the name? Okay,
Well,
great.
no, I think what you want to do is get somebody to facilitate with you, maybe several people, to really distill your message. And I think, you can get 4 or 5 people to brainstorm that with you.
Awesome.
You might not need to change it.
I think along that same line, in developing your brand or enhancing your brand is through graphics. And you may not necessarily have to change your name. It sounds like you've done a lot of work in, securing that,
No,
solidifying
we
that.
can change to make sure it works, right?
But, it's really important when you said, this is my MO, this is my brand. And that really says what you do, the barrier buster. And you can more focus on your MO and tie that into your name and do it graphically, which makes it very interesting and, draws people in with color. And sometimes it's a very simple graphic can tell your story.
Awesome, thank you. That's the second time I've heard that in a week. Go ahead.
So, love what you do, love your passion for what you do, right? People that do this kind of work, you've got a passion for it, you have it. It comes through in your presentation, it comes through in the way you communicate with your audience, it's great. And the fact that you're open to correction and open to suggestions, even after you've gone through the process of copyrighting your name, that's huge. That speaks a lot to your love for what you do. But let's talk about presentations.
Okay, please.
Okay? So, when I watched your PowerPoint presentation, it was blocks and blocks and blocks of black text. Let's go back a couple slides. Go back a couple slides to where you talked about your different services. Back, right there, see that? As soon as I see that, everybody else, you zone out. We don't look at that, we don't read it.
Everybody else going out like,
Right? So this is what happens. You have valuable real estate here for a limited amount of time.
Got it.
And you filled it with something that everybody tunes out on.
So I can put pictures.
You gotta put a picture. You don't see all the like R and C and all that stuff. I get rid of all that stuff.
Okay.
Right? Make it graphically focused.
Yes.
Right? And also here, you ended with stories about how you change people's lives. That's what your business is all about.
Right.
You need to start your presentation by telling the story of Mary,
First.
who had a problem with her glasses, and you came in and solved it, and now she's got a great job. You tell that story, and then you say, welcome to Passport to Education.
This is what we do. Thank you.
Now you've got people hooked.
Got
Now
it.
you're talking about, this is what I do. People are going to buy into that more than they're going to buy into a list of your services.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Yes.
When you first started speaking, I wanted to know who you were. I was like, oh, this is great, you're going to present, but I wanted to know who you were. I wanted to know your background, your story, why were you passionate, why did you start?
I was just, I had all that stuff in there, and I cut it, and I cut it, and I cut it for the 6 minutes. It's
Because
just
people
like,
connect to people, regardless
Yeah.
of what your
Yeah.
business is.
Okay. Who cares about all that stuff? It's just like, who am I?
All right, because then you, like what he said, I'm invested, I'm hooked. Oh, well, now tell me about your business.
Okay, great.
I have a chicken and egg question.
Chicken.
Do the potential employees come first, or do the employers come first? Who, when you start selling your product, who are you initially trying to talk to?
Employers.
The employers.
Employers, and because I think that job seekers are being taught right now in college career service programs and in high schools, they're taught to get on the internet and look for a job. They're really not taught to come and talk with you guys and say, well, I'm thinking about this and studying this in college, like what do you do and would my skills match a company like you? Right? That's where we need to start. We need to start with an understanding of employment, and then we come back and develop the skills to be able to have a conversation with
So your real
employers.
customers are like Cable and PSCU and companies that potentially could hire the group of seekers?
Actually, my customers are in this room.
Okay.
So anybody who can talk about their business and help educate, first of all, we're talking about the first product, which is regional employment radio. So that first product and service that we have will communicate to the United States what kinds of businesses are out there, what you guys are doing, what you're creating, and what kinds of skills did you start with to get into the business that you're in right now. I think that's really important, and it's an awesome conversation to listen to. You know, if you're interested in a path in college, why would you finish your college education and then look for an employer? Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you start now? So that's what we're trying to do as far as the message goes. And then as the job seekers support services, we're going to stylize resumes to what they've learned and where they're going, as opposed to sending out a generic resume to anybody who hopefully will pick it up.
Okay.
Thank you.
That was very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you starting with the one thing you don't think you can monetize until later?
Well, that's a really good question. I just want people to come on the show, and then I think it's really important to build a response and guidance from the listeners. And then after people are there, if people would like to sponsor the show, then we're going to do
I
that.
think that's your hardest uphill battle.
Do you think so?
Oh, absolutely. Why not start with, you said the employers are your
Okay.
customer.
Let's
So
test this
start-
out.
so-
Would you pay right now to be on the Regional Employment Radio Show and, would you?
No, what I would pay for though is for you to get me good employees, right? So you said your customer is the employer and you're gonna help them get better employees. So that's your selling point. And then you can say, and because you're doing that, I'm gonna give you a spot on the podcast.
Can I hire you?
Yes.
What is the regional employment radio going to be on? Are you being picked up by a radio network, or is it going to be internet radio?
A couple
And
of
then
years.
how are you going to market yourself so people even know that the broadcast is out there?
Right,
Listen to
right,
it.
right. So it's, a couple of years ago, I actually put this concept out to about 4 different radio stations here in the Tampa Bay area to do this kind of content. And nobody would talk to me, so I thought, okay, we're gonna do a podcast. So I'm just gonna send it out using social media. And then see, my goal would really be to be a syndicated program. That's my hope.
Yeah, it sounds, I think I'm starting to get my head around what's going on here, so I'm not quite there. But building off what a couple other people said, though, and then what this young lady in the back here said, hey, that's it. If you're going to go to a company and say, I'm going to work with you and help you find employees, I don't know, I don't work in HR for a lot of reasons, but I imagine a lot of people come to them and say, I imagine people come all the time and say, I'm going to get you great employees. So what is it that, why do I want to go with you and not the 7 other people that are going to probably contact me at my HR job at J-Bill today?
I'm sorry, different product. I'm not gonna be that product. I'm not gonna help employers get employees, and I am not gonna source for them. I'm gonna send a message on our program about what's happening in regional economies and where the skill sets are, how to train for them, bring in colleges, bring in your businesses, bring in job seekers. I'm not gonna be doing that individualized company recruitment. It's just not me. I don't wanna do that.
So you're just acting as a consultant as a whole to how to, you're not finding them employees, you're teaching them how to go find their own
I'm
employees.
teaching job seekers how to communicate with employers, and I'm teaching employers to talk with training institutions about what you need. Because as you know, if you try to do this with colleges, you can try to change the curriculum, and then within about a year or two, technology has gone so far forward, it's very hard to do that again and bring your colleagues in to do that with the department. So do you understand what I'm saying? It's like curriculum has to develop fast enough so that job seekers can access the job market. So I want to bring that, everybody to the table, so we're having that continual conversation about what's hot, what we need to do, how to train. How are we doing on time, John?
Oh, good. I was just going to suggest, you told Marianne that technology jobs and healthcare jobs are a focus for you. How about on the employee side? Is it high school students? Is it adults with disabilities? Who is it veterans? I mean, I think this is a fairly crowded market, and the government puts a lot of money into this market, so you can't compete with career source, can't compete with those. So having some specialization, if you come to me and I'm a hiring manager, and I know that I want to, for instance, purposefully hire for diversity, or purposefully hire veterans, or
Right.
purposely hire adults with disabilities, I just don't know how. I don't have
Okay.
connections in those
Right.
markets. I don't know how to manage if there's a process or
Right, I would consult with you,
accommodations.
I would consult with you, and we would first look at what is your need and what is the support for that, and we would assess everything. Go ahead.
But if you focus on one of those areas, adults with disabilities, or veterans, or high school students, whatever, that's your niche, right?
Actually, no, it's because we're about employment, that everybody in that 30% that's not working could be any one of these individuals. It could be a person coming out of the welfare system, that's, their case manager says, look, you've got to get a job, your end of your program, we're not going to give you any more food stamps, that you've got to get work, and they say, okay, and they're on a computer every day, and then they're sent to a certification program, but the reason they're on welfare is because they had a learning disability, and as a kid they couldn't read.
Sure. But
So
how are you
it's
different
any
than
job.
from
I'm sorry.
Vincent House? How are you different than from vocational rehab? How are you different than from Able Trust? How are you different? I mean, those programs all exist. They're nonprofits.
Good question.
So
I'm a
presumably you're
unifier.
better.
Career source resources are there. So, I've already talked with folks that add career sources, see if I can bring them in. So I'm really a messenger. I'm a messenger on the podcast program to unify people and help you get employment. It's a broad message.
So the podcast is where you stand out. The podcast is your thing you're obviously passionate
It's our
about.
signal.
All of this other stuff is to fund it.
Can help monetize.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Is that it? We're good?
Oh,
I got that last question.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
So thank you again for coming out. I know you briefly touched on it earlier, but can you tell us again how we as a community can help you?
Oh, have us to come in. If you have a group that you'd like to have us speak to, if you have a company that you're thinking about, well, I'd like to hire some employees, but I'm having an aching back right now, and like, what if I have somebody else that I don't know if they have a barrier to doing the job? I can consult with you about how to equitably hire and assess what the skills are that you're going to need. Just would love to have your recommendations as we go along, so I'll be here with hearts. Thank you so much, guys.
Well, thank you all for coming again. I'm up here to tell you about some events that are coming up over the next couple of weeks. Generally, summertime's a little bit slower, but if you have any other questions on these events, we do have a newsletter that we send out twice a week. You can sign up for it right over there. We'll send you direct links to the events, or you can come and ask me for further questions. We got the Etsy Craft Entrepreneurship Program. It happens right here at the greenhouse. I think it's pretty self-explanatory what it is itself. Tech Talk, JJ, where's that this week, or this month?
Pardon?
Tech Talk, where is that this month?
Microsoft, next Tuesday.
Okay. Microsoft
And
next
who's
Tuesday morning.
speaking?
What's the topic?
Who is speaking?
Next week we have a panel on incubators and accelerators. And so Ron Stein, Chris Paradise, Dino in the office to discuss the benefits of accelerators and how they can help start the company to move forward in their process.
Are those paid classes?
No, it's a free event.
Free event.
Free event at Microsoft. It's right off West Shore area.
Just go to the free.
It's on Eventbrite too. So you can search for it easily.
What time, JJ?
8:30. It's normally in the morning. 9 o'clock in the morning.
Networking starts at 8:30.
We also have coming up next week Iron Yard. The summer session starts, so if you have any interest in learning how to become a programmer, it's a great event and program to check out. And then you also have the annual Good Burger Awards. It will be hosted at Janice Lodge. There we go. But again, all the information will be linked to the email. So I will go ahead and get out of the way, and please give a warm round of applause. Start with their round here. Take a second. So we have
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Nick Paré, founder of WeComeToYouCarWash.com. We are a waterless car wash service that comes to you anywhere, anytime. Doesn't matter if home, office, you could be at a doctor's appointment, at a gym. Give us a call, download our app. We also have an app. Download our app, make an appointment, and we will, our agents will come right over. Within an hour to an hour and a half, your car is clean inside out. Think of us as the dry cleaners of the car wash industry. Our mission is, not our mission, but we seek to change the notion of a car wash. Usually when you think about a car wash, you think about these guys with greasy, clothes and dirty towels, and they're underpaid all the time, and that notion is totally out and away.
Oh yeah.
We are the next generation. We are the future of car washes and how car washes are done, and the people who provide the service, the income that they make. They should be able to support their family. That's one of our missions, is to provide jobs as well within different communities, no matter where we go, so that individuals within their own communities are able to service their own community, make money within their own community. They don't have to travel too far and things like that. We are 100% green. We are 100% eco-friendly. And we come to you. It's short and simple, to the point. This is our Facebook page. Our company is called WeComeToYouCarWash.com. It explains exactly what we do too as well. And we come to you. I'm going to actually pass this around. If you'd like to just pass it over there, that would be great. There you go. Sir, questions? Yes, please. Yes.
All right, how do you do without water?
I'm sorry?
How do you do without water?
Okay, great. That's the first thing everybody asks. How do you wash a car without water? Now, this is a technology which has been out there for a little bit, but now it's starting to catch on. We use a spray system. I'm not sure how many of you know, but less than 1% of water on Earth is usable. That's how much water we have. And that's actually one of our mission for our company, is to save water. So when we go and we do a car wash for a customer, we actually thank them and tell them, hey, you just helped us save 45 gallons of water. Actually, that's what it takes when you take a car for a traditional car wash. Right? So what we do is we take a spray-based solution, which is 100% plant-based, and we spray it on top of your car. That solution helps lift off the grime and dirt from your car. And with a microfiber towel will gently wipe off all those grime and dirt, and then buff it out, giving you a beautiful showroom track. And on our Facebook page, if you go, we have tons of reviews from customers from New York, from Connecticut, over here in Orlando. We're looking to grow over here in Tampa as well. This is a national project. We are like you can consider us like the Uber of car wash. Where you download where you download our app, book a wash, and at the time and date that you booked, we'll be right there for you.
So even if you took your car four-wheel and you have all kinds of paint on mud and gook, this stuff will still dissolve your dirt, or is this for everyday car that has that pollen on it? It's going to
correct.
even this gooped on.
No, if you came off off-roading, we can't help you. You need a pre-rinse. Till now, we've done hundreds of cars. We've never experienced anything like that. So it's very, very rare that we would, come across something like that. But normally we do, the community's cars. 80% of our customers are moms. That's why we have products which cater to moms. When we started, moms were like, oh, I have a stroller I need cleaning. I have a kid's car seat I need cleaning. Why are you cleaning my car? Why can't you? Okay, not a problem. We'll add that on. So now it's an add-on that we provide to moms, where if they would like, while we clean their car, if they would like their kid's car seat cleaned, we do that for a charge as well.
Two questions for you. Geographically, where, what location are you servicing?
Right now we are in New York, Connecticut, Orlando, soon to be in Tampa, as soon as possible, Miami. Then we move on, depending on the, what stage of financing we are in. That will kind of make a plan of how do we execute this entire thing nationwide. I'm on a mission. I love to travel. I love to speak to people. I go out there personally and talk to people, just like you had the question which everybody asks, don't worry about, how do you wash a car without water? You know what I mean? So, I answer those questions, and I love what I do, out there. And our quality actually comes out. Once you do a service, you should. Most people are just surprised, like, wow, this is what, without any water into that, within an hour and a half, we got.
Now, how long does it take till, if I go to your site and order someone, how long till they order a wash? How long will it come?
It all depends what the availability is. Right now, it takes about 4 days. You need to call us in 3 to 4 days in advance. Because we are a startup, we are not, 100% out there with trained agents in different areas. So that's why I would love to talk to her as well. And how do we acquire, people who are looking for jobs within different communities, so that we can put that to work right away.
Sorry,
No,
do
that's
you have like a hub then, or a headquarters, I assume, where these folks are on call and they say, I'm available, I can come, similar to Uber? What you're
Yes. What we do is, what I do is go into different areas, Craigslist, Facebook, things like that. And we put out, we're looking for agents, cleaning agents. Finding all our cleaning agents have to go through a training process. We are insured, and we put the agent through a training process where there's a theoretical training process and there's a physical training process. So when an agent will call me, yep, I'm interested in this job, how do we get started? So they have to download our app, sign up as an agent, agree to the terms and conditions. Those are basically terms and conditions between them and the company, non-disclosure, non-compete, confidentiality agreements. And then as soon as they agree to that, they're presented with a bunch of videos. And those videos, it explains to them exactly what a waterless car wash is, how to do the exterior, interior, the wheels, how to take care of your equipment, different things like that, right? Once they're done with that, then we say, okay, now you can come with us, your theoretical is done, now you know exactly what we do at the overview. Now we're going to take you to the field, to actual appointments, where you're going to go and we're going to show you exactly how the car is done, waterless. Okay? We require agents to go through at least 5 cars before we send them out. Every car situation is different, interior, exterior, whatever it is. But this is not a very complex process. It used to be, I've simplified it so much that with 5 cars, an agent is trained up. We send them, we have quality managers as well, guys who have been with me since the beginning. They get promoted where they keep an eye on new agents at different appointments. Are you doing it the right way, wrong way? No, makes sense as that. Yes, sir. Go back to you.
I drive a 72 Volkswagen Beetle.
Okay.
And how much would you charge to wash the outside?
All our-
And would you do a detail on the inside?
Okay. This is something that we're always working on, how to differentiate ourselves from detailers and how to differentiate ourselves from traditional car washes. We're in between. We don't detail. We don't come there to you, charge you $200, spend 5 hours on your car, going through every single little, We are a waterless car wash. It's a new experience, it's a new technology, it's a new, what should I put it? It's the future. That's the way I would put it. You know what I mean? And you have to experience to actually, you know, see, oh, this is great. So the job that we would do, I can guarantee you a detailer will charge you at least $150 bucks, you know, and spend hours doing that. So that's, like I said, the process that I've created simplifies everything so much that within an hour, hour and a half, max 2 hours, depending on how, you know, the condition of your car is completely clean, smelling good, inside and out. 100%.
Would you do just the outside? How much would you charge?
You didn't get a postcard.
Yeah, sure. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Did everybody get the? Yep.
45.
For you.
Just for exterior, for sedan, we charge. That's a way of our, you know, pricing strategy, where we would actually, you know, consumers would look at like $5 difference. Let's do the inside and out instead of just the outside or inside. Sorry. Yes.
So big thing about 1 million cups is connections, and it's kind of some parallels here. There was another gentleman named who came in here about a year and a half ago, maybe, presented City Sleepers. It's a St. Pete founded company that invested a lot of money into the app and the logistics of having Uber for on-demand waterless car washes. So I could be sitting in 1 million cups right now in a month, and for $25, one of the next guys would come out, wash waterless car wash, you know, take care of that. My suggestion there is, it seems like you've got a lot of experience and passion in this waterless car washing system, and you've expanded into some other different markets. He's in a similar game with all the on-demand technology that people really want to press that button and have it right there. And a good branding, City Sleepers, right? It's a little memorable branding. Just a suggestion there, maybe you two compete against each other and continue to do your own thing, but maybe your own growth would be accelerated by partnering up with him and saying, hey, I know this business and I'm passionate about it. I have all the contacts in the New York area. How can I expand another CP company into another market where you've got that expertise? So if you don't have next information already, email me.
No, I don't, and I'm looking forward to meeting like-minded individuals who kind of have experience in something like this. Too many questions. It's fun stuff.
Okay, so let's talk about two things. Sure. Let's talk about quantitative analysis of your business. Okay, because back in the envelope math says this isn't going to work. Maybe you can prove me wrong, but you're saying it's about $30 to do a car. Okay, that's what it says here. It's about $30. Right?
It's sedans, and that's what the exterior.
Right, so that's $30 to do a car. It takes an hour and a half. How much you pay your guys an hour?
For all sedans, our agents, they are not the independent contractors.
Okay.
Just like Uber, just like other companies.
So what do you pay them per hour?
Sure. No, they're not paid per hour. They pay per job.
Okay, what do they pay per job?
So for sedan, they get $21, plus they get to keep the tips,
Okay.
plus 5 cents a mile.
Okay.
And then they get 50% of each add-on that goes that the customer buys. Now, this is a few months old. We also have added more products. So that's the minimum that we pay.
Okay.
Then if it's a mid-size car, they get $27 per car, plus the tips they keep.
So let's look at the other side now. What are the margins on your business? Because if you're providing
40%.
all their product, how is that possible to get 40% margins? Because if you're paying your guy $21 out of 30, then you got overhead, you're already way out of 40% range.
99% of the time, we don't get a $30 order. That's very, very rare. Minimum we get is $34.95 to $39.95.
Okay, so out of 39, let's say it's just call it $40, right?
Okay.
How much you paying your guy? 21 plus, but you said you get half of the add-ons too.
Add-ons.
So you probably make about 26.
25, yeah.
Okay, 25.
Between 21 and 25.
Then you're paying them per mile, 5 cents a mile, which is a couple dollars. How much does your content cost? How much of the spray? How much of the microfiber cost? What's your overhead per job roughly?
Okay. 60% goes into solutions, into microfiber towels, the equipment, and all that. That's another thing that we've done. From having these bulky water tanks and huge, vans and all that to go out there on jobs, what I've done is we use only 3 solutions to do the entire car, right? Each car we do would not cost us more than $1.25 in equipment.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at. So that's, you got low cost of goods.
Very
in your
low,
car.
very low.
Outside of it.
Exactly. Very low. That's why our profit margin comes up to about 40% after expenses and things like that.
What kind of market research have you done, and what kind of demographic are you targeting? Because when I think about $29.95 for what you just described as a sedan, which isn't even a mid-sized car,
Correct.
I can go right up 4th Street North and hit 2 or 3 drive-through car washes, and for the base wash, $6, maybe for the ultra wash, $11 or $12. You're 3 to 5 times more expensive than a drive-through car wash. How many people are willing to pay 3 to 5 times for one of those?
Moms. Busy moms. 80% of our clientele are moms. We love moms. They keep us busy all the time, and not only in one, geographical area, but everywhere we go, best clients that we have are moms, busy moms with kids. You should see some before and after pictures on our Facebook when we do Cheerios, chocolate. There's tons of juice, and when we go off on milk, when we clean that car, and mom's like, wow, it just rolled off a lot when I bought this car, and it's 100% eco-friendly,
So you're obviously revenue generating already.
Yes.
How substantial are your revenues, or how many cars
March,
per day are you servicing at this point?
Since March, or since April, we stopped taking cash. Everything is done online. Because as we are expanding, cash is starting to become a problem, keeping track with different agents and things like that. So all our orders are processed online. All our orders are through PayPal. We send customers online invoice, which they pay, and customers, now that our reputation is growing, slowly they are comfortable paying and comfortable prepaying for the order already.
Like how many cars per week or per day are you already servicing?
Right now in New York and Connecticut, we are up to 12 cars per day. Over here in Orlando, we are starting to get up to 5 cars per day. But it's just been a couple of months we've been here. And it's about marketing. If we are able to put ourselves in front of our customers see us, customers know, most of the time, because they're so intrigued, like, how do you wash a car without water? We want to see that. Just on that, so many people, just order and they want to see it. When they see the job, when they see the quality, they're like, this is something. Yes, ma'am.
So I totally get it. I now live in a condo.
Right.
I can go to 4th Street, but boy, I get it. And I want an add-on for my bike, which now sits.
Add-on for?
My bicycle.
Okay.
Right? I want a $5 add-on for my bike. So you're gonna come out, you're gonna do my car, you're gonna do the interior every once in a while. And I want a discount for signing up for repeat. So I'll buy a whole 12 months.
There you go.
I mean, I love it. And you know what? All my friends who are eco-friendly, they're going to love it. My question, you own the whole thing nationwide, or you're a franchise?
No, we are not a franchise. We don't need to be a franchise. I'm open to that,
No, but you own the whole thing.
Yes, I do.
But you live here.
I moved here, yes.
After you started it in New York?
After it started in New York,
So I just
I moved here. Now from here, my goal is 1 year in Florida. I want to set up Florida in 1 year. Then again, depending on the funding, the financing, what happens, I'll consider moving to California, Texas, Arizona, Las Vegas. The whole country is open for this. There's really no competition. Yes, please.
You said California. I think that you would have a huge market for this in California.
California.
I do get that a lot as well.
I'm a native Californian,
Okay.
and the droughts are so
Exactly.
terrible. You're not
Exactly.
allowed to wash your car in your house. You'll
Yeah.
get fined if there was water
Yeah.
running down your street for washing your vehicle. When you said that it's 45 gallons per car.
Yes, it is.
I think that that should be what you should focus on if you branch out to California, because that's huge. I would pay for that in a heartbeat. People are just leaving their cars dirty again because you're not allowed to wash
Right.
it behind your own car.
Yeah, I mean, we do, emphasize on that, but every market is different.
Absolutely.
So wherever we go, we kind of see what's going to work as a marketing strategy in different areas,
Right.
and do it that way. New York is convenience. A lot of people are very busy, especially moms. Okay, they have so much going on all the time. It's more of convenience than saving order. So we actually focus on that and the convenience part. But just as you mentioned, in California, it might be a little different.
Well, there's
where
lots of moms in California, and there's
there's moms
always
everywhere.
drought,
There's
so-
moms everywhere. I'm pretty sure there's moms over here.
Yeah.
You know that. Sorry.
I'm just curious, as someone who, tries to occasionally wash the car, is the solution such that, I don't know about anybody else, but then I spray my car, it's dry. And so it's kind of hard. Does this solution not deal with the evaporating because of the heat down here?
Yes, it does, and we have. That's why agents have to go through a training process of because we do come across a lot of times where there's no shade, and Florida weather, it's really hot. How do you tackle something where the car is really hot? Most of the time, we will ask customers, could you please move the car under a shade, if you can see a shade, or move it in the garage. And customers are very nice; they understand it's So the way we do a job when it's hot and the car is hot is very different than when a car is cool. And that again comes into training, how to do that and get the
Pop-up tent, one of those things from Walmart, you just put on.
I've been, no, not on Walmart. We're going to be doing like a branded pop-up tent where it would be, we come to you carwash.com,
Right.
Waterless carwash that comes to you, something like that, and it will be green so that it sticks out. Not only that, a lot of customers have recommended, why don't you have a flag that every agent who's doing a car wash
That's good. No,
has a flag or
keeping
something,
the car covered.
something like that, where, other customers are noticing and, hey, what are you doing, yes.
Have you looked into any partnerships with large corporations or malls where either people are at work or people are going into a mall for shopping that you can make your service available to them while they're out of their car?
Yes, that would be an interesting thing to look into. Right now, we're focusing on government contracts. I am in talks with the FDOT, the Orlando Police Department in New York as well, where they have fleets of cars, and the FDOT provides the employees sedans, non-sedans, which they use plus their personal cars. I've already given them a demo. They liked it, they loved it. It's just a process that we have to go through. I'm working with UCF right now. They are behind us. They are actually letting us know the steps, how to acquire government contracts and what you need, and things such as that. So it's a working process, but I think government contracts would be a huge opportunity, to follow, because we want to create jobs. Okay, we want to create jobs everywhere we go. Put people to work, be 100% green, eco-friendly, do good to the environment, and be waterless, save water.
There might be grants out there to help fund your business if you're truly green and start saving water, including in Western California.
I need help. I need a team. I need people like yourself to join in and say, hey, let's make this happen. Let's do this, because I cannot be at 10 different places at the same time. My mission is to get the message out there that we are changing the way car washes are done. Forget about the old way of doing car wash and paying a guy minimum wage when he's working his butt off to get your car done, and it doesn't even come out that clean, right? It still doesn't come out. There's streaking, there's water flowing everywhere. With us, nothing there, right? And that's why we pay our agents, what we pay. Because once you come work for us, you don't need a second job. You can have a life. You can support your family. And we have college students who work for us. We have family people who work for us with kids. And we make sure that, we keep them busy. If they do 4 cars a day, they can easily make anywhere from $140 to $160 a day. That includes the tips and, all those things. Yes, ma'am.
I think you've got a really good thing going, and you do need a team.
I do, yes.
Because there's just so many applications for it. I mean, you could even possibly go to, in St. Pete, we're all condos. There's lots and lots of condo associations. And you could go there and that could be a service offered to the condo association. And you could have a certain day a week that you're at this condo. And you could start to project, the business that you can do. And you could even possibly lower your prices if if you've got 10 cars guaranteed and this person can do that in one place, no travel, all day long.
I love it, everybody kind of pitches in, gets in, and there's so many ideas going on, opportunities of where this can, be put. To kind of elaborate a little bit on the advantages that we have of being waterless is we can do a job anywhere, whether it's on the streets. We go to a lot of complexes where car wash is not allowed. And when we get to our agents get to the I'm sorry, am I?
I think it's finish. Wait, that's the final question.
Sorry. When we get to the guard and we say, oh, we're here to wash a car, like, you're not allowed to wash a car. And I'm like, yeah, we have waterless car wash. No water, no mess, no nothing. Oh, okay. So there's a huge advantage to that as well.
Okay. Sorry, everybody, there's a lot more questions out there, but I'm sure Nick will hang around out by the coffee afterwards.
Yes, definitely. I'm taking orders.
I'm going to cheat as the organizer and make one additional comment, but what I listened to a podcast on Tesla, and it said that Tesla is okay. It's an energy, a green vehicle, right? They said at the end of the day, people who bought Teslas bought them because it was the new iPad or new iPod, right? Not everybody, right? There's that demographic that you kept saying convenience, convenience, convenience in your entire pitch, and the moms that are your number one customer, I'm not doubting that they want to be green, but they're buying because of convenience. So my only additional comment is, are you really promoting alerts car wash so much as they will come to you wash your car? So something to think about. And I cheated by saying more questions, but now I have to end by saying the final question, which is what can we as a 1 Million Cup St. Pete community do for you? We know that you are not quite here yet. You're looking to expand here. Is there anything that the community here can do to help you create jobs and bring people to be performing these workers car washes here in St. Pete?
Yes, I am. I'm always looking for maybe companies, entrepreneurs, whoever it is, to join in with us in certain areas and help us grow that area. It's a very simple system that we already created, how to train our agents, market within that area, and start servicing. It really doesn't take more than a couple of months of work within an area to actually generate the buzz with the marketing and strategies that we have, and put people to work. Let's put people to work. Let's make money for them and make money for ourselves as well.
Two great presenters today. Just a little bit about 1 Million Cups. If this is your first time, we accept companies that are less than 4 years in business, less than $1 million in revenue, doing something innovative and scaled. They could be at any stage. As you saw today, you've got one company in more of the getting ready to launch stage. We've got somebody who's already out there in business, less than 4 years old, doing something innovative and scalable. We'd love to have you enter into our community, even if you're not ready to present. Google 1 Million Cup St. Pete, register as a local company. Once we have you in the system, we'll reach out to you and say, hey, would you like to talk about your idea and get some feedback from the community, and then look at scheduling you a little bit further out. I think that's it for today. We've got some events up here on the board we need to cover. Yeah, I know it's summer, a little bit slower, but bring a friend next week, and we'll see